afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacaster. Me, host Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda Heroes like Defender of the Fatherland, your Lord and Master. Off here to a 1 vs 1 on Favorable Approach. I was just about to call it Arnhem Checkpoint. That was terrible. We got a rifle side here for Crossfire, fighting value for America, freedom, democracy. Rolling out here with the elite 1st Armored Division, charged with breaking through the Kraut lines, held under the command of Stupendousman. A pugnacious German commander here fighting for the Wehrmacht, obviously. Deutschland. Reich. Rolling out here with the 15th Panzergrenadier Division, dug in and ready to tear apart some Yankees. All in the name of the German peoples. We got here encirclement, mechanized, and Jaeger infantry. Definitely not your usual doctrine chosen there with anti-tank and infantry versus airborne, armor, and rifle coming. Not usually the most chosen either here, so both players slightly off-meta doctrinal choices with triple infantry there for Crossfire, double rifle here for Crossfire as well. MD42 Grenadiers there for Stupendousman. He pushes hard for the center, not for any of the fuel points, but straight for the center there. A bit risky in some ways. He risks, not getting fuel, but in this case seems like he's actually angling here to actually defend the northern approach maybe, but doesn't quite happen fast enough. Crossfire, in the meanwhile, is aiming for both fuel points, setting in aggressively here. In which case, Stupendousman folks in the centre is now going to find both fuel points immediately out of his reach, since the house here could basically make it difficult to, well, unless it flanks behind the rifleman, I suppose that would actually be an option. But skirmishing here, rifleman, Grenadiers finding out, MD42 remaining here, bits of slower for Stupendousman, second Grenadiers on the way, third rifleman on the way there for Crossfire. Grenadiers being shot to bits out in the open. Paul Ludwig already falls in service of the fatherland, and Fritz follows rapidly. Rather than sneaking up, they're basically deciding he doesn't want. He wants to let the Germans in for some of the rifle from there, but rifle flanking up behind Pioneers won't be able to support the MD42 there. And second lead's got around there for Stupendousman. Some aggressive fighting here in the early game between Stupendousman and Crossfire, both high ranked players, and Stupendousman in particular I would say is a pretty good off-meta player. Like, he tends to play, not your average strategies at all, but he tends to do that pretty effectively, I think, due to an overall good understanding of a lot of core concepts of the game. He's not like, Red Wings or anything like that, but, again, he plays, I would say, pretty interestingly and pretty efficiently. Grenadiers fine versus rifle, they're skirmishing out there. Pioneers running towards the fuel point there, wiring off here by something done previously to ensure that his opponent can't just lock down here too easily. MD42 back out here for the fatherland, so 2 Grenadiers, 1 MD42, 1 Pioneer squad versus 3 riflemen. Grenadiers versus riflemen. The riflemen already a bit depleted here, so he should have a chance of dealing with them. And they're going to fortune in the front. Dieter, though, stumbles and dies. Sandbags up here by the fuel point. Grenadiers carrying the cuff point towards the fuel point. And you can see the rifle here not pushing anywhere further ahead because of the MD42, though Stupendousman roaming about. And there we go. Bit of a mistake here tactically by Stupendousman. Both Grenadier squads caught by, or Grenadiers just caught by both rifle squads, I'm trying to say here, in a deadly crossfire in negative cover. He's lucky he actually did just get the unit wiped. Mega rifle suppressed, but the MD42 Grenadiers bring up here. Rifle could occupy the house, make it harder for him to defend the fuel point here. Rifle now suffering under the brunt of the bullets, and I think he's either he's forgetting what's going on, he's aiming for a sniper and still slightly forgot it because he could have gone for that at least some seconds ago. So there you go, sniper out there. I'm seeing a slight increase in over Wehrmacht players going for snipers, in particular versus the Americans and the Brits, so that way try and bleed them out. So that's definitely a shift in the meta game there, but it's not, I would say, super common either, but it is sort of catching on with some players, a bit like how tier 3 rashes are catching on with some players as well. There's definitely slight diversifying, I suppose you can say, than Wehrmacht strategies now actually happening right as the patch is about to hit, and we'll of course have to see what the patch does to sort of further diversify those strategies. But we've got an ambulance away there for Crossfire rather than being shot at constantly by the MD42, getting some damage in there. Sniper out here, the sharpshooter around to support the 15th Panzergrenadier Division, though technically Panzer divisions did not have snipers, nor did Panzer divisions. Those were pretty much organically part of an infantry division, or there'd be a few, but otherwise they could sort of be attached from sort of more, well, detached sniper elements. Little fun fact there, by the way. Little fun fact. MD42 is going to blast our way, and there you go. Sniper gets a kill. First hit there with his scope, give air 43, which was not the common sort of choice of weapon there for the sniper. Normally would have been, a Kar 98 case with the scope, or if they could get their hands on it, they actually preferred a scoped Mosin Nagant. That's a little fun side note there. They can't quite remember why, I'm sure someone will point it out in the comments of the video. There's always someone who's got those slight details there if I forget them. because I'm not that big into snipers, but there are people who are. So, little fun fact. Anyways, Grenadiers are dealing with the riflemen. Pioneers are being slowly flanked here with the rifle, but of course with the flamethrower, they can put down some serious pressure there on Crossfire. You can see the Stupendousman is also quick and quite good at just shifting approach here. If he hits here and then to get stopped, he just switches towards the other fuel points. So in this regard, Stupendousman, he is just very tactical, flexible, but so is Crossfire. I mean, neither player is just being really stubborn about wanting to fight around one point. Like if they encounter resistance, they just shift around and sort of try to attack from another angle. So I mean, in this regard, the early game basically comes down to you can outmaneuver the other boss and catch them off guard. In this regard, the sniper allows Stupendousman to sort of slowly bleed out Crossfire doing some of these skirmishes. There you go, Joe, dead. Very dead. MP4's going to need to turn about. He could also try and time up with Incendiary, piercing rounds for extra damage. We should see if that is what Stupendousman ends up doing. And rifle flank from the south, Grenadiers moving away, and there you go, catching both rifle squads here with MP4 too, but not fast enough. Medic bunker being set up there for Stupendousman. Tech up as well done. Nope, well, he's actually, I think, using the direct order facing of the MD42 here. Might be a bit wrong, but it certainly looks a bit like it. Ah, never mind. Might be wrong there. But you can soon upgrade for the medics. This sniper gets a 4th kill. Keeping up press. There you go, rifling up behind. MD42 could be in a bit of trouble there for Stupendous. He sees it and falls back. We have going for the captain there, Crossfire. Bit of a rare move. Most American players, I think, still overall favour the lieutenant. That's not saying again. The aren't going for captain, but overall majority wise, definitely lieutenant players. But Crossfire here clearly aiming for the captain. Stuart, light tanks, pack houses, and technicals, all very good options. Medic bunker there ready. Like to make a nice company. Just needs to upgrade. Like to make a nice company on the way there. He'll definitely need a pack 40 here to counter the Stuart light tank. And of course, it could be Crossfire's doing this because he's anticipating this Stupendousman is actually playing for a tier 3 rush. Maybe. But with the snipers, that's less likely. But who knows? Maybe he's thinking that either way. I mean, if he was going for that kind of tier 3 rush, the Stuart light tank would be quite devastating in his timing. So I mean, I can see the logic there for Crossfire. And even then, I mean, the Stuart just is pretty good. But it is better if your opponent doesn't have a pack to counter it. Captain moving up, of course, 6 minutes Stupendousman. He's probably going to need a pack at some point. We got Punter going to do that first. Rather than being caught between the Grenadiers and the Sniper. 7 kills there so far. Closing intervention to 1. And there you go. Lewis finds him suddenly, stumbling over backwards as his spinal cord is cut. Captain there is the Grenadiers. And Stuart Light Tank out here for Crossfire. Freedom. Democracy. Getting back for the northern fuel point here. In this regard, Crossfire has a massive fuel lead over Stupendousman, getting 3 times as much fuel, which is generally not a good situation to be in for the Wehrmacht. And will definitely require Stupendousman getting out some packs. Storming up in Grenadiers under fire. And currently Stupendousman has no anti-tank weapons. He hasn't even been able to lay down to say a single mine here, so he's got really no way of stopping the Stuart except having to panzerfaust it while he still stalls for the Pack 40. I mean, dodging this theoretically the option of the Stormtrooper squad with a Panther effect, but you might as well go for the Pack 40 because that's going to be overall cheaper and less exposed to the Stuart in a lot of situations. Pioneers need to retreat. He was trying to just grab the fuel point here, but the rifle pretty much prevented him from doing that. So overall, so far, Crossfire's keeping up some heavy pressure against the Stupendousman. Pack 40 is on the way there for Deutschland. The 15th Panzergrenadier Division. And there you go, Panzerabwehrkanone 40. Before rushing ahead, despite there being Stuart around, he might of course be hoping to draw the attention of the Stuart with it, fixing the Stuart for a bit there, and then sort of hammering away at with the Pack 40. We'll see. Other healing reinforcements going in there, Pack 40 sending up, Panzer there versus the Stuart. That is not going to end up too well. Because they're being blasted by the M42. You could consider Incendiary piercing rounds again just for increased damage. That way putting more hurt on Crossfire's infantry. Sniper there with 12 kills. Keeping up the bleed. M42's going to have to fall back. That is low on health. And numbers. And there you go. But Pack 40 shoots, penetrates the Stuart's frontal armor there with its 5mm armor piercing round. Grenadiers moving up. Stuart continues to fire away there. The rifle falling back at the Grenadiers, the sniper being too much, and the Stuart's going to have to fall back further due to the Pack 40 creeping in on it. Slowly but surely. Troops are healing, reinforcing. Pack 40 slowly advancing. You got 4 riflemen above plus the captain. That's a lot of infantry both for Crossfire and of course the Stuart still. I think he's trying to either hit the pack 40 flank behind the sniper. By the way, the Stupendousman just retreats a sniper. In this case, he does not risk it, which I think is a pretty wise decision there. Like one mistake, and that should be quite a costly loss there for Stupendousman. The sniper's yet, I think, to earn himself in, though he has come quite a bit there. I mean, 15 kills, he's actually reasonably close, considering the rifle squad is about 28 man. Actually, he might have just earned in the sniper by now, to be honest. Of course, he then wants to gain more value from it, but at least the sniper won't be a complete, loss. Termites being laid down there up north. Closing in on emergency 2. Stewart setting out there for Crossfire again, not Stupendousman. He doesn't have those, not unless Crossfire hands one over to him. I don't think he's that generous. We've got a Telemine down there by the promise that these mine troops moving up to the mine. He's easily spotted. Otherwise, nice attempt there by Stupendousman. Good spot by the way to mine. Necessarily not one, I think one worth keeping in mind, when you sort of, want to lay down mines yourself, and this is a really good spot there. You go, particularly opponents like vehicles, they like to move through here, but in this case, spotted and swept. Punch to versus double run from the BARs and next recover. This is a bad spot there for Stupendousman. He treats his punch before they suffer any more losses. That was close to a wipe, but he kind of got lucky. I mean, they're really low in health, the survivors. Still, Stupendousman is fighting from a really disadvantageous position right now here versus Crossfire. I mean, be 11 minutes in, he's done at 339 versus 483. His opponent's still getting a ton more fuel than him. He's just barely getting any, in part because he's just focused on the center rather than the northern half of the map and the free sources there. So in that regards, Stupendousman is very much struggling. He's kept in the fight though, part by the infantry and the machine gun and the pack, and of course the sniper also, helps ensure that Crossfire doesn't get too far ahead. At least, doesn't get to do his stuff too freely. But the situation is nonetheless pretty precarious here for Stupendousman versus Crossfire, who is so far just enjoying himself a strong early game. Grenadiers desperately finding out here, now moving up. 21 kills, 22 kills. Cat and Force Waken is almost getting getting almost the Grenadier squad there. Now the sniper kill there. Pack forming up to engage the Stuart. Sets up again. Oh dear. 24 kills from the sniper. Better match from the south, sending in his more hardened Panzer Grenadier squad, which can sort of fight more independently compared to the Grenadiers. Not a bad move, at least he's trying to attack elsewhere. But it does seem like Stupendousman is perhaps getting a bit too fixed at this point, rather than just being more flexible now. So that's a bit curious. MB42 and Sniper team moving ahead here though. Pioneer sitting northwards there, and we got the Stuart with infantry support sweeping in. It's pretty much counter Stupendousman's efforts in that area. No take yet for Stupendousman. I mean, he might at this rate just going for mechanizing, at least calling a command tank. So that would deal with the infantry pressure. The Stuart, of course, make the rest of the troops more survivable, which is certainly not a bad thing. Lots of fire on the Pioneers. Heavy damage inflicted with the BRs and the Stuart light tank with 5 kills there. In the south, we got Panzer. There's a rifle and the rifle just immediately retreat there. Crossfire's having none of that. They probably, I think, could have stole the Panzer Grenadiers while he brought up more forces, but I'm guessing he just did feel that was worth it. Also, the reality in this case is he didn't have anything that could have been sent into support, so there's that. Except maybe with the Stuart light tank, to be honest. Few putting being scored by the Panzer Grenadier. M42 covering up here again. Aggressive machine gun play from Stupendousman. Bit risky, but as long as he keeps it properly supported, at least keeps something within range to assist it, it shouldn't be too bad. Fighting around here, Grenadiers rifle, no light machine guns up by here for Stupendousman's Grenadiers. Immediate retreat here, he's trying to stall down Crossfire from getting too much fuel. The problem is, Crossfire's already got the major and can soon fill up with a Sherman tank. Got 26 kills in the sniper. That's pretty good for him. Captain setting up that's going to get sniped. There we go. Barry is very dead. And we can see the Stupendousman fight with the pack 40. I mean, he's quite aware of the situation in terms of resources, his chances of getting anything else out there. So going for a second pack 40 makes a ton of sense here for Stupendousman. Makes a ton of sense. Finding on the north, Hickman is about to get wiped out. Grab a BAR. He actually managed to get a wipe there on one of Crossfire's rifle squads, which is pretty good. He loses a Grenadier squad, less good. I guess getting a BAR slightly makes up for it. And still, a rifle squad is more expensive than the Grenadiers, but he doesn't have a lot of other infantry, so that's where the issues arise. But he can actually now go for the command tank if he wants to. Meanwhile, Crossfire is going for the Sherman. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be command tank here for the Stupendousman with mechanized pioneers. They need to retreat. There you go, Befehlspanzerwagen arriving here for Stupendousman. Still on fire from the Pack 40s. Quickly falling back, Sherman almost done there for Crossfire. Could probably use his captain if he could have used the captain. Might want to have a chance to basically supervise the production of the Sherman, pushing it out faster, which wouldn't be a bad idea there at all for Crossfire. Command tank moving ahead here. Rifles exit there, suddenly killed by a high explosive gun there. That did not land too well. They could have done a lot more damage to the rifle, I think. Oh, the artillery called in by the Major on the house in the centre there. Forcing the MD-42 out. And Sherman arrives here for Crossfire in the 1st Armoured Division, adding the Pintle Mountain 50 caliber machine gun there on top. Very good. Top shooting reinforcing. Sniper here with 30 kills. And Billy found himself annihilated there by Rifleman alongside Bobby. And then we're going to do clearing out here thanks to the BAR. And there you go, command tank joining Sherman does up shoots. Doesn't get too much damage in there, I think in part thanks to the defensive aura of the command tank, inspiring the Grenadiers to shrug off their wounds a bit harder. Don't be such a baby. Jawohl, Herr Hauptmann. We will totally listen to you when you're in that big sky tank. Pack 40 hanging back, he grabbed the northern victory point of the Panzer Grenadier. More Grenadiers here for Stupendousman to replace his losses. He could have maybe considered another Panzer Grenadier squad, but I suppose it might be the manpower cost that's making him less eager to just push into that. But at least Stupendousman has more fuel now. The Crossfire can still pull ahead soon for another Sherman. He's still also got the Stuart on top of the first Sherman, so I mean, right now Crossfire's enjoying a definite arm advantage versus Stupendousman, who's trying to catch up with his anti-tank guns, which isn't quite going as straightforward as you'd like to imagine. Stupendousman hitting the Sherman from the Pack 40, gaining veterancy 1. Stupendousman's now, by the way, it's just 1 kill away from veterancy 3. 1 kill. And there we go, veterancy 3, 32 kills. It's all it took to hit veterancy 3 for the sniper. And now gains a higher rate of fire. That's going to keep up the bleed there on Crossfire. And the tank is following up for him as well for Captain Henry Salfords. Panzer's there waiting reinforcements. But we can see that Stupendousman is slowly turning the game around, though he's rather low on victory points here compared to Crossfire. 237 versus 483. And of course Crossfire enjoys a definite advantage on a lot of levels, but Stupendousman does have enough firepower and other ways to compensate for that. Of course, got the sniper just constantly picking off the Americans. 33 kills. 34. Take forward jump the Sherman there, good hit there. Rifleman Major then being pushed back by the command tank with 3 kills so far. Victory points wise though. Things are still ticking down. There we go. Got to take up for Stupendousman. Good, good, good. The faster you get out more armor to contest Crossfire's armor, the better for him. Crossfire though, by the way, has yet to choose a document almost at the training in the mountain. Crossfire just sort of remains without one, seemingly unsure of what he wants to go for. Grenadiers are going for the Rifleman. Skirmishing between the Panzer Grenadiers and the Stuart. Stuart there though having a, I think, rather big upper hand. Pushing back the Grenadiers in the south command. Our centre command hanging about him before two snipers thing as well. Telemark's up to deal with any sort of vehicular rushes from Crossfire. Very good. And command tanks scoping about there for some extra kills. Before being assaulted by the Stuart. Oh, none of the Pack 4s actually up to sort of engage the Stuart, but there you go. Gets off hit. Command tank though here, he actually went for it with a point blank engine shot. You don't really see that ability used a lot, but he actually gets the command tank with it because he's going to install it in front of the anti-tank and the Sherman. He gets the Stuart though, Lieutenant Stupendousman, but losing the command tank like that is a big loss. And Crossfire still hasn't gone for another tank, despite having the resource forward easily. Sweeping forwards there with infantry. Right into the MD-42. Sniper there is also laying down some kills. So 38 kills so far for the Fatherland. 38 kills. Rather than Cat being suppressed, pinned down and murdered. And seizing the eastern victory point here as well. And we finally got Doctor Choice here for Crossfire. It is airborne, opening up for Pathfinders, airdrop machine guns, anti-tank guns, paratroopers, and of course the P-47s. And Crossfire stuff here does not go for second trim, instead goes to the Scot, opting for some artillery here versus Stupendousman. An interesting choice, and there go direct hit on the Grenadiers by the Sherman. Almost taking out the Grenadier squad in effect, but Stupendousman has a bit of luck with him. And rapidly caught hiding outside a house before running into it. No immediate choice here if I think Stupendousman to easily deal with it, except maybe trying to bleed them out with a sniper. Up north, Grenadiers versus Riflemen. The BAR singing away there, and the Scot is almost done. But the Grenadiers are definitely going to lose versus WBR, so the just don't stand a chance. "41 kills from the 2 victory points left over here for Stupendousman for the 15th Panzer Division as the 1st Armored Division just continues to pummel away. Not good news there for Stupendous. And unfortunately getting hit by artillery from the Scot. 42 kills. Hitting 43 any moment, I imagine. There we go. And there you go. Double pack force from the Sherman. Not enough to take it out, but certainly enough to just force it away for now, giving Stupendousman a bit more breathing time as he goes for the Supreme Core, and will likely push for Stuke here to just have a better chance with a lot of Crossfire's tanks. But I'll still go for another Sherman even after the Scot. So then we got Pathfinders. Interesting choice there. Will he upgrade them to Barfinders? He definitely has the munitions for it though. And yup, Pathfinders upgrade to Barfinders. "44 kills on the sniper, and there you go, Stubendousman for Stupendousman for Deutschland. Crossfire, they're playing as a Scot pretty aggressively here versus Stupendousman. Could wish the Panzerfaust maybe being knocked out or something. Panzer there. Wrong side of the cover, essentially making them easy to target here for the Sherman. Already down to less than half health, and they got the Pathfinders move out again with the. Oh, never mind, they dropped the marksmen, so they're just down to the BAR, but even then, so have something to be careful about there. $181 versus 464. Stug almost down there for Stupendousman. Bit of skirmishing up north here. Panzerfaust on the Scot, damaging the engineer. Punishing Cross with everything a bit too careless with it, with no infantry screen at all. On the other hand, he's able to push back the Grenadiers pretty swiftly and send a bit more force to reinforce success in the north. That's going to force Stupendousman to react to that if you can't do that in time. Grenadiers wiped, another wipe against Stupendousman. That is 2 infantry squads annihilated here by Crossfire and the 1st Armoured Division. Bit closer there if this keeps up. Almost at 50 kills there for the sniper. Almost at 50 kills. 49. 49. Stupendousman replacing the losses. Good work there. And freshly sending some troops to arrest in the south again here, since he's more focusing on the north again. That leaves the south very open here for Stupendousman to hit there. So he's, I think, definitely making the right decision there. Then this was right from Panzerman to support as well there. And we got a light machine up on the BAR Grenadiers as well. That just overall meaning they got 2 light machine guns now, which is definitely a lot of firepower for a Grenadier squad. Ooh, halting in the south here by the Sherman. No immediate armoured support there. The Stuke is more around the centre. There you go. full 3 squads caught by the M42 virtually free by the inactive cover anti-tank on East Lance and easily penetrating the Stug. And we got the P-47s now being called in as well here, putting much pressure there on Stupendousman. Rockets flying, most of them not quite connecting. The ones that do end up doing some damage to the Stug. Bit lucky there with the second run. Bad luck though for Crossfire. Packs there punching in the armor of the Sherman. Not quite enough there to finish it off. Allowing Crossfire to pull it back to live another day. Now we got a Jackson on the way. The sudden arrival of the Stug has seemingly spooked Crossfire quite a bit. So rather than just committing to more Shermans, which I think would be cheaper, he is committing now to Jacksons. So an interesting choice there by Crossfire. An interesting choice. Quick Panzerfaust Singer from Fritz damaging in the Scott. Sniper here with 54 kills, laying down the law. The law of Deutschland. Still good to go. Noting spotting scopes, but no pinmap machine guns there for Stupendousman. Might be he just doesn't think they're worth it. I would personally disagree with that. See if we can get a pair of Stugs out. They can usually support each other quite well using their pinmap machine guns. Jackson hanging back here for Crossfire. Hitting the northern victory point there. And straight to the M42 with the bar finders. Halting them in. Quite aggressive in the track. Gonna do so, could sneak about, grab some more treasure in the south. Should be something I think Stupendousman considers soon. 56 kills in the sniper. It looks like Crossfire ready for another big push. We got the armor moving. Sherman and Scott. Oh no man, that's just the Sherman. So might just be trying to try and counter whatever Stupendousman is seeing in the south. There you go. Crouch and running. Up north, punch the repulsed by the rifleman and the captain. Stug just rolling a bit back as well. Not quite wanting to face off against that. And we got a howitzer out for Stupendousman. Lighter Feldhaubitz. Marmendorf as well there, almost taking out the Sherman. Question of course he's aware of it and if he can take advantage of it. Blind fire here from Stupendousman. That's less good though. Less good, and sadly he's missing out on the Sherman as well there, so this just is at the two, I think, less than good developments. Two less than good developments here for Stupendousman. The 15th, we got the sniper here supporting with 58 kills versus Crossfire's troops. Punching with their FC 2, 4 kills. Sherman is almost fixed up again here. More Telemann step pack 4 lands, a good hit there on the Jackson tank destroyer. Continues with the pack hunt in the center there, losing ground here to Crossfire, sending in his pathfinders to well find a path to victory. And he's actually replacing the major. Like you very rarely see any American player actually replace the major. He's usually seen as by at least the ones I sort of observe as quite disposable, but Crossfire's actually replacing the major. I mean, he actually wants to use the abilities, which is definitely an interesting development there. Very interesting. Killer fire there against the Stug. Sniper fire there on the captain. We could actually go for second Stug right now, which I think would be quite helpful as a Crossfire stuff. We could go for Ostman to counter the aircraft. We could go for a Panzer IV. Let's see what ends up here with the Stupendousman. He has the option as for Crossfire. He certainly also has plenty of options before him, but seems to now mostly sort of throwing himself as Stupendousman, had almost some line of harassment on the sides, but never see any attacks to sort of really outmaneuver Stupendousman, maybe finish the fight. Right versus the MB42, Scott opening up there, and direct hit, killing the gunner, causing him to bounce about a bit. But Stupendousman is on the defense. He's got 120 victory points left versus 450 from Crossfire. That's crazy. That is absolute madness. Looks like Stupendousman are setting up for a Panzer IV, even a command tank. We find out in a few seconds, I imagine. And it was in fact the command tank here that Stupendousman wanted again. Got a wipe there on Crossfire. Very good, very good. Might in fact been the howitzer getting a wipe there. In which case the howitzer slightly paid itself off, though not fully yet. Not fully yet. Rifle advance strength to the infantry getting heavily suppressed here by the ace machine gun crew. Hardened gunners and servers of Deutschland. Captain there suppressed. Pack body up, gets a good hit. No, actually not a good hit, just misses. And artillery called in on top of the Scots here. On Stupendousman position around the cutoff point. Putting under some heavy pressure there. And there you go to artillery fire machine gun. Killing half of the crew in a matter of seconds. Pack forward there, almost getting the Scot, but it is close to being wiped out. Scot escapes, the Scot escapes. Great hit from the Jackson, the command tank, and we got air support called in again by Crossfire against Stupendousman, trying to break up his armoured core there, taking out his Befehlspanzerwagen, and it goes down. That command tank pretty much amounted to absolutely nothing here for Stupendousman. A grievous blow there. A grievous blow. But he still has the sniper who has got 70 kills. That is crazy. And there goes straight into at least one of the pack forces trying to maneuver the other one. Panzer first off, doesn't do anything. Another hit on the Sherman. And a smoke to just ensure the packs can't easily pursue. Crossfire's taking no chance here versus Stupendousman, which is definitely, I think, a good move. No point in losing the Sherman like that if you can avoid it. Big push here towards the centre victory point, plus the being assault with the rifle and the Pathfinder squad, aka the Barfinders. Another artillery barrel shift as Stupendousman will be going for the same place. Oh, he's firing at the centre victory point, trying to stop him from grabbing it. But turning into a very unpleasant zone to be in. Eventually, him forcing up, sniper push back. Stuking up. But that machine gun that's going to struggle a bit. Oh, he's going to crush them. He's going to crush the rifleman with the Stug. Oh, silly Stupendousman. Pioneers bringing against the rifleman. And we got paratroopers up for Crossfire. So we're getting a bit more of his doctrine, using up to 3 abilities utilized, which is good. Compared to the Stupendousman has used well the howitzer, the command tank, and the spotting scopes are both sort of equally using the doctrine so far. They're using their doctrine because I mean they don't have the same doctrine. That'd be a bit wrong. We got the paratroopers, the Sky guys, out here for Crossfire, adding the Browning Light Machine Gun. At this stage of the fight, it certainly makes a lot more sense. It's an early game. Double Browning Light Machine Guns is capable of laying down a lot of firepower as German infantry, which Stupendousman might struggle a bit with here. Depending on the circumstances, particularly if he gets up with more than one paratrooper squad, he can lay down a lot of fire. So Stupendousman trying to aim for another command tank. He's just going to go for another Stug, or is there something else he might have in mind? Oh, double pack forward in the Sherman. Double rear hits. 75 kills on the sniper, by the way. And, oh! Almost got the Sherman there. That was really lucky there for Stupendousman to an extent. Crossfire got that many hits anyways. The only way he could have been more lucky for Stupendousman actually got the finishing kill. Stug back to half health. "78 kills. That's a lot of kills over the sniper. He could go for Stug again. He could go for the Austrian. I mean, if he's really bothered, I mean, it's not like it's super effective, but it's better than nothing, I would suppose. 79. Those panzers need to retreat. You just need to retreat hard. And there you go, very quick to get away. Lost a unit and anti-tank crew got eviscerated here. Directed, I think, from the howitzer, which is not, yeah, actually something else, I think. Going to push back here with the Captain Rifleman. Actually interesting to note, he hasn't upgraded the Captain with BRs. That's what normally most American players would do. But for the reason, Crossfire doesn't seem to think that necessary, or hasn't considered it at all. Continue fighting on the north. You got a machine gun bang up. That's easily blasted bits here by Crossfire's armor. In the south, Stupendousman isn't doing much to try and change the situation up. I was still going for the Sherman. Shot actually bounced, which is really rare, but you know, that is, I suppose, what Relic 1 is against. Like, it can bounce shots, and lastly, it has to be nerfed. Oh, got the ambulance, though. Got the ambulance. Bit of a loss there for Crossfire. I'm trying to destroy the entertainment as well. Very good, very good. Flanked by the Jackson. Doesn't get the entertainer. Gets it from Jackson, though. Gauge 52 on the Sturmgeschütz, so you could try to target weak point here, I guess, but no, too late, too late. Shoots, misses. Gets abandoned, though. I don't think Crossfire's aware of this, but and he's forced to fall back with his Jack before he loses it to the Pack 40. So a bit of good luck there for Stupendousman, to an extent. Fixing up the Jackson, Grenadier is pushing ahead. Pioneer's moving up to fix up the Sturmgeschütz. And get it back in action. 66 points left here for Stupendousman. This is going to get pretty tricky. Howitzer firing. Not making much of an impact again. Destroyed the anti-tank gun though. Blasted it apart entirely. Ooh. He lost his BAR gun to the escort with the light machine gun as well there. Might even lose the panzers here. There's shown that be some quite nasty losses. We got another command tank out. Stupendousman apparently never aiming for more than one Stuke here, and there you go. Panzer Grenadiers wiped as well. That is 2 infantry squad wipes in short succession here for Stupendousman. That is rather grim, and of course a big win for Crossfire. But we got the command tank here to the rescue. Shown being fixed up. Hit a mine, but quickly fix it up, and there you go, troops retreating in the face of the Befehlspanzerwagen. Jackson moves up. Pack 40s need to turn about to deal with that. The Stuke is being put back here for repairs, most needed. Fun fact about the German command tanks was not uncommon. It's like 1944, for example, for some units like to use older tanks as command tanks, like the 2nd SS Panzer Division in Normandy, for example, used Panzer Face as command tanks, as an example. So that is a little fun fact. Howitzer firing again. Every division would have had a couple of batteries worth of them. Of course, the Panzer Division would have had a few self-propelled versions known as the Vesper. That's a little fun fact there. El Capitan moving in. Still no BARs on them. I'm really surprised at that though. Got the Patriots, got the Riflemen in and pushing back the Grenadiers with heavy machine gun fire there. Just a storm of bullets that was really punishing Stupendousman for Grenadiers being a bit too exposed. Howitzers, not really again achieving much there for Stupendousman. At least so far. And Stupendousman is really short on infantry. He's now relying, I think, to an extent on sniper solely. There, 85 kills. Almost getting killed there by the Scot. That was pretty lucky. 86 kills. At this rate, he might actually hit 100 kills. That'd be nuts. Troops reinforcing. Back is Crossfire's base. The same is happening. Well, not healing because he hasn't replaced the ambulance. Apparently there's no replacement for that ambulance in Crossfire's heart. Swimming up through the south here, might be ready to attack head on into Stupendousman's lines. A bit risky there, a bit risky. That does help the machines not back a bait, but there you go. Command tank lands a shattering shot on one of the paratroopers. And more artillery fire just raining down the base here. Still not really doing too much so far. Jackson sweeps in, there you go, gets a good penetrating on the command tank. We got gunners being attacked from a lot of angles with the rifle and the paratroopers. 3 kills, 1 cat moving in. They're gunners taking a lot of damage there, a lot of fire. Need to retreat soon. Got the Shem, sniper hanging back. There we go, 87 kills before retreating. Command tank, the Lancer hit the kills 2 paratroopers. Very good work there by the Feldpanzerwagen and Hauptmann Ludwig. Quick hit in the Shem there from a Pack 40. Stuke sending it again. There you go, hits on the Jackson from the Stukes and the Pack 40. Almost knocking it out there and not quite doing it though. Oh, got it, he actually got the Jackson. That's a big win there for Stupendousman. Crossfire exposes Jackson there for a bit too long, and the Pack Stuke combo, most of the pack though, since Veteran 3 was able to take it out. The thing that came out of the pack as it gains Veteran, it gains a higher rate of fire, meaning at Veteran 3 it actually shoots quite fast and can actually do a lot of damage to tanks if your opponent isn't careful. It's a good job by Stupendousman actually preserving his pack crew for long enough. And there you go, actually killed by the howitzer. So men obliterated and evaporated. Now he's forced to retreat right into the possibility of range here, but no, most of the shots are heading too far north. Still, if one shot goes straight and hits here, that would be... ooh, that would be GG. Actually close there. But now we can see Stupendousman using this momentum to just push it, grab most of the map as fast as possible. Another Jackson away there for Crossfire. Swinging hit with Pioneers and Packs and whatever else he's got. Ultimately, Crossfire's got a ton of fuel, but because of the manpower bleed and everything else, he has to be able to quite get that many. In part again, I think thanks to the sniper, of course, other elements certainly also benefits Stupendousman in that regard. Still, 87 killed sniper, 87. He's actually moving up closer to the opponent's base, I think, partly just to taunt and partly just to grab. And finally to observe. Crossfire here, though, finally seeming to get a bit more flexible again. He's now going to try and flank behind Stupendousman for the south and hit him, but there you go. S-Mine's been cleared out with the Sherman. Scott rolling hit, but there you go. Command tank ready. Stuke moving in. Pioneers, Pack 40s, machine guns. Big engagement here. There you go. Scott takes a hit here from the Pack 40 Veteran 2. Sherman goes in for it. Almost got the Scott, but the misses. We've got this air support called in here, threatening to knock out Stupendousman's armor. The P-47 flies through the skies. Rockets impacting upon the German armor infantry. Machine gun battery set up. Command tank down. Stuke is in a bit of a weak spot here. Pack 4 needs to send about here. Stuke needs to build distance. Grenadiers MD-42 all skirmishing away. The troops pinned down by the MD-42. Stuke down to almost half health. Pack 40 wiped, leaving now only with the ace pack crew. Stuke down was being taken out. Sniper is still alive with 91 kills. Stuke down unit. White paratroops annihilated. Brown light machine gun down. Sherman down. More Shermans all the way there for Crossfire. Things are getting heated between the 1st Armored Division and the 15th Panzer Grenadiers. Another unit white. Sniper there with 92 kills. He can by way of fire the howitzer again into the base. You got BAR scattered around there amongst the body parts. And the Pioneers steal the Browning light machine gun. Aha! I got it! Amerikanische leichte Maschinengewehr. They'll be really upset now. Machine gun bunker though still stands. Probably not a bad decision. All here considering the resource situation, but also just, he can't afford to give ground. He's down to 65 as 221, so machine gun bunker there could just help him free up forces for other things. Machine gun still alive, and there you go. Command tank again for Stupendousman. More armor out here for Crossfire. Scott being fixed up. Packs being flanked, but they've got the MD-42 saying the flank here with its Veteran 3 skills. Shredding the Yankee Captain with lethal accuracy. Back here, troops reinforcing. The Pioneers there with their Browning light machine gun are waiting reinforcements as well. still surprised Crossfire hasn't gone for another ambulance, even more infantry. I think he's just at this point considering just drowning Stupendousman in tanks. He's just charging in there with the Jacks as well, right past the ace pack there. Definitely a bit risky in there. Almost got the Jackson. Troops are being suppressed, almost getting the rifle squad there. And the Jackson is down. The Jackson is down. Crew ejected. And a rifle squad got wiped out here by the sniper and M40 combat. He's got 97 kills with the sniper. 97. Smokescreen down, I think. I'm not sure why calling in the smoke is an anti-tank guns. I'm guessing it was a misclick of some sort. That's the best explanation I got. The Crossfire's barely got anything left now. Going for another Sherman. No, he can't, I think. Oh, sending out the sky anyways. He's actually using the Pathfinders to crew it. There's a murdered by the Scot. Now the Sherman, they're slowly on the way for Crossfire, slowly on the way. Pack's being assaulted by the captain. Still no BARs on him. I'm really surprised he hasn't bothered at all. Oh, he's almost got the machine gun, but we got the command tank to the rescue for the fatherland. Pack wipe though. Sniper with 99 kills. 9-9. The Americans would shout up before they pulled the trigger. 1 kill away from 100. You don't see a sniper with 100 kills very often. That's some impressive work there by Stupendousman. And is indeed stupendous. Another unit wiped though. Another unit wiped. Oh dear. Machine gun banker almost started to the fire raining down. Here we got 15 kills, 52 on the light Feldhaubitz. Victory points wise, he's slowly bleeding out to Crossfire now, who's just going for so many tanks here. And depending on that assault then goes, if he sort of pushes enough for them, he could actually overwhelm Stupendousman. It's going to be interesting to see here what happens. Pathfinder's there though. Oh! No kill there from the sniper. He's still at 99. Straight into the Sherman still. Oh! No! Another Sherman out there. Almost got the command tank. There you go. Befehlspanzer backing down. Stupendousman's going to need Stooks. He's going to need a lot of them. And of course, keeping his Pack 40 properly screened, in particular the ace one. Panzer on the way though for Stupendousman. Sherman's falling back. Crossfire's not going for any more infantry bar. He's just going for tanks. He is just going for tanks. Ah. Tank here with 2 prongs, 1 Sherman, 1 Scot, northern prong, southern prong. It's basically double Sherman, straight into the Pack 40s. Need smoke screens. They should have probably laid down some preparation, but there you go, flanking up behind. Oh! Looks like he got a wipe on retreat. The machine gun finally bit the dust. Pack 40 wiped. Second Pack 40 about to get wiped as well. Oh! He got both the packs, losing not a single tank. Oh dear, and he's getting most of the units wiped. The sniper's still alive, most of the pioneers, and the one Grenadier squad is. Bunker about to get knocked out here by the Shermans. Destroying the packs as well, very good decision there. Paratroops are running here for Crossfire and the 1st Armored Division. Pack recruit there. There we go. Hits almost got Sherman. Paratroop dropping down right next to them before 2. Pack 40 about to get wiped by the Panzer might be able to get a hit. There we go. Sherman down. Sherman down. German infantry pulling through here. The Pioneers, the Flammenwerfer, and then. Oh, he steals the MG42, but he might lose the paratroops into the heavy fire of the Pioneers with the flamethrower and the Browning. Pathfinder running coming fire as much as possible. Sherman gets the Pack 40 again. Pulls back. Actually, they lost the BAR somehow. We got replacements for them. Sherman needs to fall back. Let's see if I continue to rain down the base here. We got 15 kills still. Almost 53 on that, Scott. Well, Crossfire just keep getting Shermans. I believe actively trying to get more. If you also got the paratroopers, they're grabbing the double BARs. Is that way conserving resources? Sniper Volley has now gained 100 kills. A true hero of Germany. 100 kills during a single battle. Stolz der Nation. Good God. Missed the shot there. Close, getting some wipes with the outs, but not quite. There you go, 101 kills. Main gun out on the Sherman. Panzer IV sweeping ahead there, looking for prey. And we got the Ace Scott out here. We got a Stuke on the way there for Stupendousman. 114 versus 65. What is Crossfire planning, I wonder? Fixing up his tanks, obviously. Might be going for another Sherman. Yep, another Sherman. Sniper roaming about, paratrooper sending out, right to the sniper's line of fire. Cheats there, very sensible. No point in wasting a sniper at this stage. I would say at this point the sniper's very much in himself in numerous times. Like, he's as cost efficient as he can get. And there you go, directed from the house and the paratrooper squad, wiping out half the unit. In the southern victory point, now it's time for Crossfire to try and stall the victory point bleed as he prepares for his big push against Stupendousman. Laying down Telemites, he's preparing for some kind of armoured rush. He's sort of seen Crossfire's tactics, and he's preparing by laying down Telemites here and there to make it harder for him to just swarm him with his tanks, increasing his chance of that way catching up the Shermans and then, you know, destroying them. More gonna do stuff for Stupendousman. Looks like he's going to make more of an armoured fist formation this time around rather than two prongs. He's just going to clump it all together and strike one point. There you go. A-fire there, no smoke. Oh, we got smoke shots off the Stuke. Very good line to close in, but there you go. Sherman, who did pop the smoke, was too slow. Too slow. It is down. It is down. Panther IV heavily damaged as well. A-40 setting up. Sherman going in for the Stuke. Might be able to get into the telemine there. He's trying to bait. He's trying to bait. Panther IV, though, is down. Two Shermans and the Scott running through here. Stupendousman's lines. Panther IV stop. There you go. Takes the telemine. Sherman down and abandoned even. Other Sherman trying to get away desperately. That's just the Scott, and with this Crossfire surrenders. A bloody battle with much havoc here between Crossfire and Stupendousman. Exterminator. 101 kills there for Stupendousman. Overall casualties are, well, I would say roughly within the 500 range. But a lot of damage there, a lot of kills, and the sniper himself achieving almost 13% efficiency. But note, the MG42 had almost 2000% efficiency. Like, I mean, the sniper did amazingly, but I don't think the MG42's effort should be underestimated either. Good lord. Almost 2000%. And the packs there, though he did lose a bunch of them, still going to get two, still also did pretty well there. So a crazy fight here. In the end, I think Crossfire just struggled a bit with his unit. Plus, his infantry lost too much. They also, I think, didn't try to take out the Howitzer, and also too many attacks just head on rather than trying to outmaneuver. As the game went on, they just sort of didn't keep up with it. So I think there was some issues there. He also wasn't too good with smoke until, like, it really just became much too desperate for him. Then he began using it. I think, you know, had he screened better with smoke, he also could have done more damage to Stupendousman. But overall, I'd say Stupendousman played really well, had a good unit composition, made good use of mines, and overall his armor. At times I feel like he used two command tanks too much personally, but I would say he already did well. Then the sniper certainly also proved to be quite helpful there. I do think he overfocused too much on the center in the early game without getting resources, which to an extent necessitated the other things he had to do there. So some things that could possibly improve there in my opinion. But there you go, I'll say a spectacular fight right here in Favorable Approach. So I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, one, subscribe to the friends, share it with everyone, and this is Imperial Dane signing off, and see you all tomorrow for a nice hunting episode. Bye.